Sorry, I love it, but at the same time,
Dramatic.
it's hilarious the way he walks with no shirt. Sorry,
Yeah.
it's like, hey, Rambo, you want a shirt before you
Well,
go off into the wilderness?
I just recently saw an interview of Sly, and he was talking about his Rambo characters and in the desert and the jungles and running around with guns, no shirts on. And he says the military come up to him all the time and say, "Hey, Rambo," and they poke fun of him. And, Sly is always beating up on himself. And he'll say, the guys say, "This absolutely doesn't work. You run around half naked in the jungle with a gun. You can't do this," or the desert, or wherever he is. I love this movie. I love this part. I love the speech, but it's so dramatic how he pauses in between every sentence. And a normal person would be so pissed. You'd be screaming, spitting, like there'd almost be a screaming match to a point, but it's a movie and we take it what it's for, but entertainment.
It's just funny how much we take it for granted. He literally doesn't have a shirt on. Like, this guy, can you just imagine the guy walking around the whole time? No, like,
Yeah.
Put a shirt on, dude. Like, what are we doing? Like, we're not at Venice Beach, California surfing for the day. You're fighting a war. Like, can you imagine, like, today's movies of, like, I don't know, Amazon Prime type films? I'm trying to think of the Chris Pratt one or whatever. Like, imagine if they had everyone like shirtless as they go into these big, like, SEAL Team 6. They're all going into their missions shirtless. It's just funny. Louise is saying you don't want Rambo restricted by his garments. That's true. We can't have that. He's got to be completely free to maneuver.
Yeah.
But I will say, in all seriousness, all joke aside, the point that Rambo, I mean, you're right about Sly's kind of acting there. It's kind of funny, the pausing for dramatic effect, cue the Oscar music, right? But what he says regarding, I want what they want, regarding, I want our country to love us as soldiers as much as we love the country. That's a great point. And soldiers, even today, I'm just a silly Navy guy in the Canadian military. I'm nobody. I don't think I really receive hate. But actually, that's not true. I remember one time I was pumping gas at the gas station, and obviously at the gas station, I was wearing my uniform, and I don't usually wear my uniform publicly because I don't. No offense to Canadians, but you don't get. Anyways, this person, I forget what he said or whatever, but he yelled at me or scoffed at me or some sort of disparaging comment at me as I'm wearing my Navy uniform pumping gas. Like I'm some sort of warmonger type personality. Yeah, I kind of get it. Now, and I love my country in the sense of, like, of course I love Canada and I love our freedoms. I love that we have, and the funny thing is I will go to war. I'll put myself in danger's way to support that gentleman's hatred of me. He should have the freedom to not like the military. That is what a free country allows. So I get that. So the freedom of our country, the U.S. and Canada in particular, or other Commonwealth nations, is that, like we actually get to live in a country and a freedom where you get to hate the government and publicly say that without being shot in the street. Let's just be honest, right? There's other countries where you pick a country, you can't openly hate the leader of the country and tweet about it or whatever. Like, you can say what you want about our leader Trudeau, and I won't because I'm not allowed to, but I will fight for your right to say what you want about the leader, good or bad. That's the whole point of freedom. So what Rambo's saying here is true is, hey, you know what? Why do they hate me? I'm actually fighting for the rights of democracy so you can hate us, ironically. It's a good point.
There's a scene in Rocky IV where his son is that got cut out, where he's cleaning the robot, and he said, "I want to learn how to fight." And Rocky says, "I fight so you don't have to fight." And to me, that's the same thing as this speech. He's fighting so other people can live a free life in a free country. And you're right, people have the right to openly disagree, but at the same point, they shouldn't be yelling at you, pumping gas because you're wearing a uniform and you choose to serve the country. And personally, I thank you for your service. I thank any military person that does that for their country, so we can have a free life and choose to do what we want and vote the way we want and be open about the way we want. So I get his whole speech, like, this is what he wants, and this is the first time it's broken down. The last time they had this heart to heart, it was all about his psyche. But now you're finding out this is what's driving him to the edge. Is he's fought his whole life for his country, and his country is just looking at him and talking down to him and spitting at him, and and all he's wanting to do is, he'll die for his country. So a lot of people can't say that. A lot of people can't be like that.
Very well said. Well, that's the end of Rambo First Blood Part 2. Tim, thank you so much for joining the show and doing the season closer. You're going to have to make a decision for season 3. If you want to do the scene that you love the most, the shirt that you're wearing, or if you want to be the show closer.
And I just want to thank you very much for having me. I want to thank everybody who's listening in the Discord. And although I did not listen to last week, I trying to listen to the Long Road podcast and then the One More Round. And I love watching some of the behind the scenes stuff. And like I said, it's an absolute pleasure to be on here, and I'll pick any part of the movie, and like I said, whatever works best for you. And like I said, there's so many great things in Rambo 3 that I love. Even when he's getting the equipment and the guy says, "I've never seen this before. What's this?" And he says, "The blue light." He says, "What's it do?" And he goes, "It was blue." I love every part of it. I love the writing. I love the action. And this was great to be a part of it. We'll do a whole episode on the credits if you want. So I'm pretty easygoing, and whatever works for you. And again, thank you for having me. Yeah, Round 14 podcasts, part of the Last of the Action Heroes podcast network, every Wednesday night, 7 p.m. on YouTube. We've missed a couple shows, but normally we're out every week, and we have a new episode every week, and we talk Rambo, and we talk Rocky, and we cover other movies and comedies and Christmas, and sometimes we get off topic, but we love old movies and new movies and current events, and we're just happy to be part of this.
All right, thank you so much, Tim. And unfortunately, though, this season and this episode is over.
Nothing is over. You just don't turn it off.